That's right, big booba. Big booba. Alright, 3, 2, 1, boom. Boom?
Do you like hot men?
Yes.
Yes!
Do you like attractive women with big
Holy!
hands? What's up, everybody?
Holy!
Man here, and today
Whoa.
I'm bringing you my top 10 list of video game characters that I jerk off to. Number 10, Urgot. Number 9, Uncle
Lumbago.
Piss, foxy piss.
Lumbago. Oh, man.
A lot of buzz surrounding the upcoming game Stellar Blade and its
Oh, yeah.
protagonist Eve. Many gamers are
Dude, her jiggles are crazy.
celebrating her provocative design, the exotic outfit she wears,
Mamma
and as a
mia!
red-blooded male, I can appreciate this as well. Now, I played the demo, it was pretty fun, and I think Stellar Blade is shaping up to be a stellar game.
Can we ban Acknife from my chat permanently?
On the flip side, some folk claim this type of character design is harmful because it objectifies women and displays unrealistic body standards and proportions. Now,
Yeah, I guess Korean people are just so beautiful that they shouldn't exist. Apparently, according to that guy.
we could ignore the fact that Eve's design was based off of a real human being, and that's exactly what we're going to do, because complaining on the internet makes me feel better than ordering the salad. But on the real, there
True.
is something to say about body standards in media, sexualization in video games, and how it can affect us. It feels kind of dumb to say this, but there is an ongoing debate around how hot video game characters should be. If you make a character too sexy, then it's misogynistic. But if you don't make every female a supermodel with double D honkers, then your game's woke. How are you supposed to win? Well, today that's what we're talking about. Sex appeal in video games. When is it good? When is it bad? How do you tell?
When it's not their entire spiel of like, oh, I'm so unattractive and I still pull a lot of pussy, and like, I feel like there's a line between I'm very attractive and that's not part of the game. Like, Stellar Blade, yes, it has a lot of objectification of her butt, but it's like, does it really bother you? It shouldn't, man.
Tell the difference?
It really shouldn't.
Let's find out. Why are games marketed like Stellar Blade? Why are video games now filled with soft
Because it makes money. What do you mean? It's always been like this. You're playing yourself! You are playing yourself!
porn heroines with ridiculously large breasts? Why? Because fellas like big titty bitches. Next article, write some real fucking news.
And he's smoking. I can see, I think they're smoking something. You can see their hands and they're lighting one up.
He's right.
Shakespeare couldn't
He's
have said it
right.
better himself. I mean, that's about it. For a long time, gaming was a male-dominated hobby, so naturally, developers made games that appealed to men. This was much more apparent in the olden days where publishers had to rely on the box art to grab your attention. This certainly grabs my attention.
Let me see that again. Chat, we're going back. Damn, she's even wait. He's like hiding his crotch and she's unzipping her booba. Damn. Damn.
Hey, how's that new pinball game coming along? You know, Microsoft needs it out for the Xbox by May. Well,
Put titties on it!
boss, it's looking great. But to be honest, pinball on console is a hard sell. It's kind of boring. So how can we spice it up? Fuck it, like this? Throw some chicks with guns and swords on it. American Pinball Reborn. Rated E for everyone. This might come as a shock to some of you, so brace yourselves. Sex sells in every industry.
I don't believe
True.
The same rules that apply to Hollywood and movie stars apply to gaming. People like things that are attractive. They had goddesses stand around and look pretty for the midnight.
Oh, yeah. Halo. Wow. These girls look nice. I want to play Halo.
Release of Halo 3. Blizzard paid Megan Fox to promote Diablo 4, and that was the
Oh, yeah.
At some point, game developers somehow forgot Tiddy's sale.
No, they didn't. No, look, literally open your freaking eyeballs. The only issue that it didn't sell enough copies is because the game frickin' sucks! It frickin' sucked! Yeah! They paid her millions, probably, to advertise their game. But it's Diablo, so... Not even Bulba could save it. Yeah, exactly.
And that was the best thing that came out of Diablo 4. The developers of a game called Sin Episodes Emergence
Holy!
to cosplay as one of their characters.
Holy moly.
Nice.
Nice.
Sex appeal is an
Nice. Nice.
easy way to get the attention of men. But that's nothing new to video games. It wasn't new when Lara Croft debuted with her pyramid breasts.
It attests to the male brain that you're like, man, it kind of looks like breasts. I'm pretty sure I heard of stories of men drawing boobies on a napkin to like beat off. I've heard that. Yeah, desperate times. Well, you didn't have any better. Like, what are you gonna do? Played all of Tomb Raider's never goon to her. You're an innocent man.
Can cut diamond with that.
That's right.
And it's not new with Eve and her ridiculous ponytail. But what
Oh
has
my.
changed is the
Booba.
industry. It's much more complex and diverse now. There are more female gamers than ever before. So how do we sell games to them? Maybe we could push out more dishwashing and cooking simulators?
No. I have Cooking Mama for that.
There's a Minecraft section on the hub. Let that sink in.
You're lying. You're lying. I'm opening it right now. Hold on. Is this the right screen? Yeah, this is the right screen. Okay. Minecraft. Oh my god! It is. You're right. Never mind. Okay, I thought you were trolling. Okay, I take it back. You were right, chat. You were right. You were right.
Perhaps we could sexualize women less to play them in a more realistic, less idealized way.
No.
No.
No, man.
No, please don't do that.
Man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
But I think a better solution is to sexualize men more.
Yes!
Picture
Yes!
this, Ace Attorney 7 drops, and the second case takes place on a beach. This is nothing more than an excuse for BAM! Shirtless Miles Edgeworth.
Yes.
Watch the fangirls go crazy.
Oh my
Instant 1 million copies
God!
sold within 24 hours. Capcom, you can send me the royalty checks. But seriously, if there is a major issue around objectifying
I totally agree. Why not? Why not?
women in video games, I say go ahead and objectify men too. It's not like we can change the fact that sex sells and companies are going to use it to sell products. So why not level the playing field a bit?
Disagreed? Go fuck yourself. I want big, muscly men in my video games. Tenmo's right.
Hot, ripped, muscly men like me, which way to the beach, appeal to women just as much as
All right,
they do
Johnny
to gay
Bravo,
guys.
settle
League of
down.
Legends has just as many sexy dudes as it does chicks. I mean, just case in point. There's a tendency for websites such as Kotaku to post articles like,
And again, League doesn't really sell itself as like a sex game. It's just a MOBA. Like, there's like really like weird about it.
Baldur's Gate 3 slyly adds jiggle physics for dicks' balls. They will celebrate when men are sexualized, but not women. If you ask me, that's a little sexist, Kotaku.
You wanna know why? Because they frickin' hate them. They hate women.
Lost Ark's depiction of female characters feels a decade out of place. If you're fine with people thirsting over those shirtless Leon Kennedy mods, or the mods where Chris Redfield is just fucking naked for the entire...
In a ball gag, by the way.
Yes, sexualize them, guys. Put on a skirt.
Guys, the Leon mod, they have a ball gag for him too.
entirety of Village, then you should also be fine with people thirsting over Lady Dimitrescu. Now to clarify, there is a big difference between what a developer makes and what their audience makes of it. Just ask Jeff Kaplan. But if we...
Yeah, and League, Overwatch. I don't think they made, you know, they didn't make League and Overwatch to be sexualized. They just made sex about it. Yeah, like the sex modders made it a thing.
We held developers responsible for the actions and words of their community. Well, the Call of Duty devs would be on trial for crimes against humanity. So this doesn't apply to like multiplayer voice chat stuff. But what, if anything, is wrong with Stellar Blade in particular? Let's check out some articles and see if we can find the answer. IGN France posted a review of
Her ass is showing too much.
Lover Slab for Skyrim and Fallout are good examples of sexy men.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
the demo, saying mostly positive things about it. However,
Chris was infected and grew a third leg.
I hate you so much. Shut the hell up.
there was one paragraph people really took issue with. The design of the game, particularly its characters, highlights an obvious bias, and the result is not really a success. It's not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters. But where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland.
Why? Why is she bland? I think her costume design is pretty freaking cool if you ask me, but okay!
All sexualized by someone you would think has never seen a woman.
What? Is that a woman? Jesus Christ, put her back in the kitchen. What the hell is she doing out in the sunshine?
There's a lot of problems with this. First off, Eve isn't even sexualized within the context of the game or the events of the demo. Like, she doesn't flirt with anyone. She's not pushing her tits together, leaning over, asking for a ride. She never says, like... That's
why I'm saying, is like, you can...
He's thinking with the lower part of his heart.
Oh, that's so sweet. They don't... She's still really beautiful and sexy, but she doesn't, like, you know, start twerking. I've seen at the hip-hop awards... people literally jiggling their ass at the camera into their face. That's when I think it's a little bit too far. Like, you can have a massive big ass, but then you're twerking into the camera and, like, your ass is jiggling and you can kind of see it, like, fucking clapping a little bit. Like, that's fine, but, like, for some reason, the game is... Like, the game is, for some reason, it's not okay for them to do it?
Like, who wants to have sex with me? It's not even a fact. Like, bro, if you want to complain about hypersexualized characters, go play Soul Calibur, okay? Hop into the character creator.
Like Nikke? No, Nikke's different because that is what this game is selling. So these female rappers, they'll twerk on stage at the camera with their ass cheeks fucking hanging out of their butts, right? But then they'll say, men are so terrible in the rap industry and they're abusing women and sexualizing them and we can't get any respect. Like, there's a fucking difference, man. Like, shut up. You're being so disingenuous.
You can make your tits super huge. Also, the demo is like an hour long with about 15 minutes of cutscenes. That's not enough time to give like a detailed character assessment or review. So a lot of people are complaining about Stellar Blade at the moment based on assumptions. What they think the game is going to be like when it actually comes out.
Damn.
Comparing Eve to Bayonetta and 2B isn't fair at all because those are characters that have been around for a long time. And they appear in games that are completed and have been released to the public. Let's try another article though. Developer of Stellar...
What if it's a really bad game and it's only the first 15 hours that are good? You never know. It could just be like a good demo.
Stellar Blade fails to recognize the game's sexism. This was posted before the demo came out. So just based on the 6-minute showcase, there is something striking when you look closely at the images of this aesthetically successful action game. The heroine is ultra sexy. In less than 6 minutes, we see her wearing outfits, each more improbable than the last. The message is clear. The shorter, the more skin visible, the better. Now, I'm not sure what trailer you watched, but there's like maybe 9 seconds of footage where Eve's thighs are partially exposed, but besides that, it's just her arms. Like, where is this explicit, overt sexualization that I seem to be missing? Is everyone...
She's showing too much skin. Not not the arms. No, you can't show the ankles and thighs.
Women in tights supposed to be a sex object? However,
Apparently.
we're talking about a character responsible for getting rid of an enemy threat in a post-apocalyptic context. So the old "her outfit isn't practical or realistic" argument sometimes has merit. But I don't think it does with Stellar Blade or Bayonetta. Neither game is going for a real—
But they're a fantasy game. You're not playing Rust or something. But even then, Rust is not a good example because you can run around naked. You know what? Never mind. Rust is a bad example. You can't run around in a game like, I don't know, Call of Duty naked.
realistic setting. Like if Call of Duty had established itself as a grounded military shooter and then got rid of military factions and threw Nicki Minaj in as a playable character, well, that would be pretty fucking—
Oh yeah, they did put Nicki Minaj into the COD. You know what? Never mind. I'm out of examples.
cringe, wouldn't it?
I take it back.
Bayonetta is a witch and Eve is an ODST that stole Tracer's spandex. As long as they don't look stupid and they fit within the universe, I don't see either as a problem. Leggings so close to the body that it feels like a second skin. This guy has more problems with the tights industry than he does with the game. That's what leggings are. She has a nice bod and plenty of outfits to customize.
Oh, that's a cute outfit. Yeah, that looks like something I'd wear. Whoa, man. If I went outside like this, damn. Bro, this is cute. I'd wear this.
Gamers like customizing and playing dress up. Bayonetta is arguably more sexualized, but she's considered a paragon of female representation and strong female characters. So again, what is the actual problem?
Bayonetta and Stellar Blade were not made by a Western what is it called? A Western studio. That's what the issue is.
Character is simply too sexy, man. That's the issue. It's difficult not to see a sexualization of women, a practice which tended to disappear in the latest video game productions. Did you forget what won Game of the Year in 2023?
What
Baldur's
I like
Gate
the most is that every companion
Men
is
just want one thing. And that's to dress women in cute outfits.
Yup.
so extremely fuckable. I want to fuck all of them.
I
do not only want to fuck all of them, I wanna be with them forever, for the rest of my life.
However, this choice is 100%
Man, this girl's down bad. Okay.
assumed by the developer, with arguments that are beyond belief. The director of
Whoa.
Stellar Blade attempted to justify the project's irredeemably sexy argument. In terms of design, we focused on the back of the character because players are always facing her when playing. That's what they see the most, so it's very important.
So they focused on the ass because you're looking at the ass the most. That is smart use of game money, game dev money allocation. Yeah, they're kind of smart.
We didn't know that a character's charisma is first measured by the perfection of their posterior. Jesus Christ, man, go touch grass. When I play a game, I want to see someone who is prettier than me. I don't want to see someone normal. I want to see an ideal. I think it's important for entertainment, and after all, it is entertainment aimed at an adult audience.
What you say is heresy.
These are the unbelievable arguments. I wanted my video game protagonist to look good. How could you say something so brave yet so controversial? Like, this is sexist now? Well, shit. I don't want to be sexist.
You hire good-looking Hollywood actors to play in movies. The person who played the Joker isn't actually unattractive. Oh, did my audio break? Hold on. No, okay, fuck. No, it's fine. Anyway, weird audio break. It's because I fucking bumped it. Fuck. What I was trying to say is that Hollywood hires really good actors, but they're also really attractive. And even the most unattractive, quote-unquote, actors are still attractive to some degree. They aren't hiring the most disgusting humans off the street. Yeah, they're pieces of shit. They need to hire everyone. That's right. All inclusive. You can't be you have to be ugly and you have to know how to act.
Can play this, So from now on, I'm only playing games with ugly protagonists. Like, they just make—
Oh my god, was that Oddworld? I haven't seen that in years.
They also delayed the release by about a year just to get all the hair physics right. Instead of opting out and making it shorter, they worked to make it beautiful.
I've seen the hair physics, it's insane.
Everyone pitching a fit about this are attention whores. End of.
I think they're just stupid and have an agenda. Dude, Oddworld, man! I had a friend that really loved this game.
Like, they just made a hot protagonist and gave her a bunch of outfits. That's it. And for
Wow.
some, that's the issue. The unrealistic body standards that are detrimental to women who consume this sort of media. And we'll get into that later on. But I want to look at some good and bad examples of sex appeal in video games. You see, it's not whether you sexualize characters in a video game, it's how you do it. Games like Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Dragon Age Origins, KOTOR, and Mass Effect offer a diverse cast of male and female companions to simp for. And they all feel like real people. Their personality is not solely defined by how sexy they are.
Whoa!
You can fuck bears in Baldur's Gate 3 and you can fuck aliens.
Dude, I can't believe you could fucking bear in Baldur's Gate. When I first heard about it before the game came out, what was it, like August or July of that year before it came out? I thought that was fake. I thought it was like something like someone made up and just made it a joke.
In Mass Effect. There's also options for same-sex romance, and you don't see too many people complaining about that. If you're gay or a little bi-curious or just want to see how those romances can play out, those options exist. They add diversity to a game.
Options in my video game? That's wokeism.
In RPG, in a very good way. You know, this old reliable clip is actually relevant to the discussion for once.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Wait.
Building a house! That's right, because we can't fucking build a house in this economy.
This isn't the right video. Here, hold on, I gotta switch to... Oh my god,
Or
shirtless John Mark.
Oh my god! Never.
But Red Dead 2 is a perfect game to illustrate the power of diversity. And perhaps sex appeal. Because RDR2 appeals to the male and female gaze. Just as you can customize the outfits for Eve, you can do the same with Arthur. There are a couple...
They're sexualizing my cowboys, and that ain't right. That's right, chat. We can't be sexualizing a man like that.
...of women thirsting over Arthur. And all I gotta say is, back off, ladies. He's mine.
And then I also
No,
weirdly
bitch!
really liked the... Oh my god. Really? I'm so jealous of her.
Missed opportunity. If the hammer hits the finger, it should be game over.
I'm so jealous.
One of our wonderful assistant directors, Gethin Alden.
Dude, the voice actor's insane.
He says, Raj, we got to do those horse lines again. I was like, why? And he said, well, a little too intimate. You know, it
Big
sounds like
piss. Massive piss.
Yep, it's bad.
Yeah, I'm like with the two butts. Dude, he's so... You can't... He's like, redo them because it sounds too sensual.
You're not talking to a horse. And I was like, what do you mean? And he played it back, and I was like, you're all right, girl.
You're right, girl.
And if I can thirst over Sadie Adler like a parched baboon...
Sadie Adler.
Hamana.
Then hell yeah, I hope women
A
who play
bunga.
RDR2 can simp for Arthur Morgan. Again, it comes down to both of these characters feeling like real complex people that you
Because they're fucking badass as fuck and they look good.
can just inherently find attractive. It's called personality. There's no mystery behind good writing. It boils down to the developer's intentions and goals with their characters and their game. If you want to make a graphic visual novel kind of game, probably don't call it sex with
Also, what the hell? Sex with Hitler? What the fuck am I watching?
Hitler. That might be a good start. And there are egregious and what I would consider bad examples of sexualization in video games. Isabella from Dragon Age 2 is just
Holy
a smelly
moly.
pirate hooker. Like, that's mostly her character. Now, I'm biased because I'd rather eat goat diarrhea than play Dragon Age 2, but even
He hates Dragon Age 2?
then, Isabella still has more going on. She's mostly a smelly pirate hooker, but my issues with her character have more to do with the romance system. It isn't just writing. Bad sexualization can be tied to the game mechanics. You want to romance this character? Just hit the icon with the heart on it. You'll be contracting gonorrhea in no time. I don't mind the dialogue wheel on Mass Effect, but when it comes to gaining approval or influence with characters and romancing them in an RPG, I much prefer titles like KOTOR and Dragon Age Origins, because you have to figure out and pick the dialogue option that a character will.
Dude, I played this game, I think. I just randomly remembered. I think I did play this game. I don't remember anything about it, but I think I played it. I think I was probably like 7 or 8. Whoa, that was a weird moment I just had there.
Respond to. You actually have
I
to
completely forgot.
You know, maybe there was a Time Splitters Future Perfect joke that went a little too far.
You go first.
Holy moly.
Okay. But the over-sexualization in that game is part parody and part fan service. Personally, I have always found Ivy Valentine's
Holy moly.
design to be hilarious and over the top, and that has been a topic of debate for a long time.
Epic.
But her design is also iconic. She has earned a place in gaming culture. Some female characters are defined
ridiculous,
by their sex
man.
appeal, while others ride the line in between. Samus is hot, but she's also like a real person, kind of. Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball takes sex appeal to an extreme level, and it's mostly a gimmick, but at the same time, the game was an impressive display of physics. On the other hand, you got something like the new Fable trailer, which a lot of people reacted negatively to. They blasted the design of this female character, and, well, she does look pretty silly. I think people would have reacted a lot better to this trailer if they had taken the angle of, our protagonist is the antithesis of your typical hero, and she's thrust into the role of being a hero. But the trailer doesn't try to tell you that story. This character is just kind of ugly for no real reason. Like in Beautiful Joe, you play as a comic book movie nerd who gets sucked into the movie and has to become a hero, even though he's a fucking nerd. He's the antithesis. That could have worked for Fable, but they don't really tell that story in the trailer. So it comes across like it's made to appeal to the body positivity crowd, and a lot of gamers just don't care for that. I don't.
You take one side and then it just shifts the pendulum the other side. I'm sure they didn't mean it like that. They just didn't explain it well. Ugly for no reason. Look, Joker! The Joker movie, he was quote-unquote ugly, but there was a reason for it. They had to play the, you know, oh, I'm ugly, nobody loves me, and also I have a mental disorder. Yeah, like you have to like play both sides now.
We've seen really, really bad examples of sexualization in video games in a long time. Custer's Revenge is one of those notoriously awful games, which they hit the double whammy. They were racist and sexist, and they made the game that way deliberately to generate outrage and publicity.
VTubers
never go out of style. Duke Nukem Forever is also an awful example because the game was terrible, wasn't worth the wait, and a lot of the jokes just weren't funny.
Power armor is for pussies.
Well, okay. So it felt outdated. Recent.
What do you mean that was funny as frick? Power armor is for pussies.
Worst example of sexualization, of course, goes to Ride to Hell Retribution. You kill a group of dudes and then immediately start banging a chick with all your clothes on. Women are quite literally an objective in Ride to Hell. Man, that fucking game. But going back to the real issue.
Dude, that game is so bad. I've seen it before.
Body positivity. Unrealistic body standards in video games, and by extension, all media. Multiple studies have shown that both women and men feel lower levels of self-esteem when consuming media where characters have that ideal body.
But that's also the fault of Hollywood and numerous other outside factors. Video games are just one part of it. What do you mean? It's not just video games. It's what sells. Sex sells.
You don't really need a study to tell you this, because if you're a dude and you've ever watched 300 and thought, damn, I'm a fat ass, well then you're just like me. But you also probably don't think about what Gerard Butler went through to look that good. In the same way you probably don't think about how much time game developers spend on creating attractive characters, how much concept art and designs they have to create. But the problem with feeling insecure about your body image is an issue that nobody can fix but you. Feeling like your body type is being represented in media is a surface level solution that ignores the real issue. I think a lot of people who write
Dude, at the end of the day, all this bitching and moaning is just gonna help the game sell better anyway. Hogwarts Legacy?
Sell it, and then also, if the game is actually good, make it even funnier. Because Hogwarts Legacy itself wasn't actually a bad game. That's the funny part. If it was a shit game, I don't think people would have laughed as much. But it got Game of the Year, I'm pretty sure, no?
these articles essentially complaining that characters are too sexy, I think that comes from a place of insecurity or just a grift. Every woman on the planet has struggled with her self-image, and to all the ladies watching this right now, you look great without makeup. And every man has struggled with his own physique.
Eve is fine. It's the parry system that gives me self-esteem issues.
I've literally never played Eve.
Confidence. It's pretty funny. There was this tweet. Microsoft urges developers not to create female characters with exaggerated body proportions. And I replied, yes, of course. We wouldn't want any exaggerated body proportions on male characters. It might make us men feel insecure. And if you
yeah, the steroided up like characters in like Warhammer and Warframe. I don't know, man. I feel like that's also unrealistic.
Look at the replies. Well, first off, this is the guy who was the art director for Gears of War. Also, I recently reviewed the first Gears of War. You shouldn't watch that video at all. That's how reverse psychology works.
No
right?
kidding, the Stellar Blade demo has 700k players per day on PS5 only.
Nice!
Yeah, sweet. But a lot of people in the replies were like, I aspire to be Marcus Phoenix. I
must go to the gym more! I lived 7 days a week trying to look like Marcus Phoenix. Yeah, strong.
7 days a week trying to look like Marcus Phoenix. I must go to the gym more. I'm feeling a strange and sudden urge to hit the gym. The men in Gears of War aren't realistic, but the women are.
Dude, her tits are way too big. That is clearly like a C cup or bigger. Looks like it was made by like a horny 15-year-old, and we're trying to be a little bit more mature than that.
And this goes back to the, do they have realistic outfits or not? And I think Cliff is right. If this lady had huge knockers, it would just kind of distract from the war, you know? But seeing ideal beauty or attractiveness in
women are a distraction in any setting.
media
Prove me
or
wrong.
video games, if it makes you feel insecure, you should use those feelings of insecurity to better yourself. Go on a walk, eat healthier food. Ideally, that's what people would do, but that's not always the case. If you're trying to condemn or criticize a piece of media because the characters are sexy and that made you feel bad about yourself, then that sounds like a you problem. I hope you work on that.
Gooning.
Lord, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. None of us can change that.
I'm gooning right now. I'm gooning.
Get rid of it in media.
I'm surprised they didn't show The Witcher 3. Now that shit is hypersexualizing men and women on both sides. Have you seen Triss in her underwear or freaking Geralt in his fucking underwear or naked? It goes both ways, and it's a great game and doesn't fixate on either side. Yeah, many times. Yeah, I've played through The Witcher. I've played through the entire thing and the DLC. Yeah, and Yennefer, of course, of course.
Or business. So the best thing to do is become the best version of yourself. In my experience,
that's right.
Actual sexism in video games happens in voice chat or mostly at the studios. And I think focusing too much on whether this character is too hot or not distracts from the conversations people should be having about how women are treated in the workplace and in the game industry. What's really obnoxious is when people try to Photoshop official character art to be more or less sexy to prove some kind of point. Is it just me or is this shit kind of weird? Like,
nah, I'm good. I'm good. This is... Again, there's nothing wrong with this. But I like this more because there's more skin showing.
Like, hey, the marketing for GTA 5 would have been much better if the chick with the cell phone was fatter. What? Why did you do this to Cortana? What?
You ruined Cortana! They made her larger too! Look, they didn't even try to Photoshop her right. The proportions are terrible. Like, her shoulder went up a little bit. They made her wider, man.
She's a fucking man-made AI. She's not a real person. Are some of these body
AI
types
needs
really
calories?
that
Yeah, clearly.
unrealistic? We live in a world of plastic surgery, for God's sake. Then there was Horizon Forbidden West, where there was like a couple shots in one of the trailers where Aloy looked a little chubby, and some people started freaking out about it. And they were like, well, what would she look like if she slathered a bunch of makeup on her face?
I don't like either, but that's just me.
I just think obsessing over this kind of stuff isn't healthy. If you're going to obsess over it, then do so in the gym. It's important to note that the problem with this whole debacle is not about Eve's design. The problem is quite simple. A game developer and thousands
The Mary Sue. Is this ironic? Is this ironic journalism or what?
of internet users are bluntly describing Eve as an ideal woman, the only woman that men want to see. Also, labeling Eve as the only kind of woman men want to see is wrong on so many levels. Dudes will thirst over anything with a pair of tits.
Boobs!
Despite having specific outlets for this content, it now needs to be injected into all media to cater solely to them. How is this any different from putting realistic body standards in video games to cater to a different crowd? It's not. What? Company make product because want money? Dove is challenging narrow beauty stereotypes within the games industry with a new campaign that promotes avatars that look like real women.
Oh yeah, it's the Dove campaign. Do you guys remember that? The one that Asmund reacted to? There's that woman in the middle. Yeah.
Again, you have to remember that these companies are fucking massive, and they're making these decisions because they think it's going to increase revenue. You've got Stellar Blade, which is like, hey, let's lean a little bit into sex appeal to sell the game. And then you've got, let's portray women in a normal way to sell the product. And both of these things are fine, but you can't pretend you're better than the opposite side if your end goal is the same.
Money.
Now, some people are only going to care about what Stellar Blade represents in their ongoing culture war, but at the end,
I know how Western, like a lot of Western, I guess it goes both ways, but in my experience, Lost Ark had a terrible story, but the actual game itself was beautiful, especially the characters, because they were like hot babes and stuff. So I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if Stellar Blade did not have like a great story, and they just kind of leaned into the whole sex appeal thing and the gameplay, obviously.
At the end of the day, what matters most to folk like
me
is if the game is awesome or bad. Is Eve going to be a flat, lifeless husk? Or an interesting character who just so happens to be a baddie with a gyat that won't quit? In conclusion, Rule 34 has been around for about 20 years. People are going to sexualize your game and your characters even if you don't. Sex appeal in gaming isn't inherently a problem, but there are pretty clear ways of doing it right and doing it wrong. Instead of wasting our energy discussing things that will never change, maybe we should focus on the design and fun factor of the game, if it's visually appealing, or God forbid how women are treated in the actual workplace in the game industry. The recent controversy around Eve and Stellar Blade isn't a new phenomenon. I think it's ridiculous to criticize it for shallow reasons like the character is too hot. It made me—
By the way, this armor right here enables hard mode. See, shield is disabled when you put on the skin suit. It means that the game is unironically harder. Like, if you want to stare at her with, like, the skin essentially, like, being completely, like, it's basically a skin suit. And it makes it harder. As am I. Yeah!
It made me feel bad. And it's equally absurd to criticize a protagonist that isn't hot enough. Is the design good or not? Does the character have a reason to look
Is the
like
game
this?
fun?
Sure, there are some instances of objectification and bad sexualization in video games, but in my experience, these are pretty rare. Unrealistic characters can't affect the average Joe or Jill's self-esteem. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to be happy with your own image. Nobody can do that for you. Your self-esteem is not the responsibility of some multi-billion-dollar corporation.
And that's what they think. The Twitter fighters, the Twitter little tweeters. They're so hot. This isn't realistic. This doesn't look like me. I have 10 hemorrhoids up my butt and I can't do gym exercises because I'm sickly. Damn, who asked?
Sex sells, and you can't fight that truth any more than you can fight
Live your
gravity.
life, man.
That's the way it is. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Let me know who you think the sexiest video game character is in the comments below. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Sexy Man signing out. Peace.
I know who it is. I know who the sexiest video game character is. It's Chad Claptures. Life is better without hate. They should try it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.